Well, in Democracy 2013 news this morning, it's the ballot battle that will have state election officials heading to Detroit today. The State Board of Canvassers is expected to begin counting the ballots in question in the city's August 6th mayoral primary. A lot of people are watching this, and this morning we're honored to have Wayne State University law professor, the dean of the law school here, Jocelyn Benson, joining us to discuss today's review. So at issue, the State Board of Canvassers coming in, and what are they going to decide?
Well, they're going to clarify the law first and foremost and say, hopefully, that no ballot that was validly cast by a valid voter should not be counted. And so there was some confusion about that on the county level, whether or not ballots that were properly marked, but arguably improperly tallied, although there's some debate about that, should not count. And it's expected that the State Board of Canvassers will say that all of the valid ballots in the Detroit mayoral election should be counted.
And they're looking at 18,000 some odd ballots, most of them cast for Mike Duggan, and apparently his name was spelled correctly on these ballots. However, they were counted with only numbers and not hashtags and numbers. So it seems like it's a polling worker error, not an error on, somebody's spelling.
Yes, I mean, the bottom line is every voter needs to know that if they cast their vote and it was a valid ballot, then their vote should count. The second piece is this question of how they're counted, and that was the debate on the county level. Interestingly, though, the state law is fairly silent on how to actually tally write-in votes. This is a very rare occurrence that you'd have this many, first of all, and then second of all, this debate over how they should be counted. But the reason for the tally marks, which is a state rule in a regulation books, is so that we can confirm that each ballot is counted and go back and check the results. So it's originated as a verification method, and it wasn't used in this case, and so there's a question whether those votes themselves are in jeopardy. But there's nothing in the law that says that the vote should be thrown out if tally marks are not used.
So basically, even though most of these are for Mike Duggan, say they were thrown out, we'll still have the same two people competing in November, Benny Napoleon, the sheriff, and Mike Duggan, former DMC chief. So this won't change who we'll see at the polls in November, but it's a very important thing. People want to know that the vote is counted.
Yeah, I mean, our vote is our one ability to express ourselves powerfully in a democracy, and so it's critical that we ensure that every vote that was validly cast is counted, and that's what the State Board of Canvassers will be determining today. But at the end of the day, voters also need to know that there's been nothing so far to indicate that either anything in this scuffle will change the number one and number two candidates going forward for the fall.
Two Democrats, two Republicans on the State Board of Canvassers. Again, they'll be meeting here in Detroit today. Thank you, Jocelyn Benson from Wayne State, elections and law expert, coming with us today. Again, the State Board of Canvassers will work at Cadillac Place, and they're going to be meeting at 10:30 at Midtown. This meeting will be open to the public, and we will be there following the latest developments for you on air and online at WXYZ.com.